Rock and roll racing! Rock and roll racing! Wheelie wheelie woo!
Presented by Interplay and Silicon and Synapse Incorporated and licensed by Nintendo, Rock and Roll Racing is a totally different type of racing game. It's got awesome monster truck-esque cars, a killer soundtrack, and tons of really awesome characters. I mean, playing this game is a totally different experience. I mean, yeah, you kind of had that going on with F-Zero and stuff like that, but it wasn't as innovative. It wasn't as cool. You get to pick out your cars and upgrade your cars and upgrade your explosions. Well, maybe I should just show you what the game's all about. Let's check it out. Rock and Roll Racing by Interplay on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Oh yeah!
Aliens and music and Larry, oh my!
Unlike most racing games at the time, this one had quite a few characters to choose from, each one doing a certain something that really improved their car, which can really come in handy later on down the line, depending on what you want to upgrade. Before you even start racing, you get to select your car and the color that you want. I mean, you really only have a choice between two, and then one over there in the corner, kind of tempting you to buy later. But once you start racing, holy moly, the music, let's check it out.
Jams into first. Rip was lost out there. Shred was lost out there. Jake jams into first. Grinder is about to blow.
Wow, rockin' soundtrack, if I do say so myself. And then, of course, what you do when you finish the races, you upgrade your car. And when you're done doing that, and you win enough races, you get to move on to the next level, which is actually kind of a cool, like, flying through space from planet to planet thing. I'll show you one of, but, you know, you get the idea. Each time you move from planet to planet, you get a brand new boss and even tougher tracks to deal with. A story? I think with everything going on, like aliens and rock and roll dudes from other galaxies racing around and blowing stuff up, would have some kind of a storyline. But, like every awesome action movie, there is no storyline. Other than the fact that, spoiler alert, at the end of this, it appears that you're on some kind of a game show. You're racing from galaxy to galaxy, trying to win, I guess, a game. But there's no real definitive story. There's nothing going on or no interactions between the characters, which is kind of weird because this is like Interplay. It's still a really rockin' game. Upgrade your car, go to the different tracks, see all the different aliens. Super sweet! Car, the harder the game. I mean, exactly what you would expect from any game. As you proceed in the game, it gets harder. But it almost seems like it's punishing you, because you get this fancy new car, and every time you get your fancy new car, it gets way too tough right off the bat. You spend the money on your car when your other car was already like pretty dieselly upgraded, so you're taking a huge step back, going back to the original wares of the actual car, only having 3 health bars and having to go through these characters that have like 10 times the amount of health as you do. Not to mention that the tracks just get harder and harder. So it's like you're getting used to a new car, and on top of it, you have no power to go with. And personally, I think the better the car, the harder the game. Well, at least until the end when you can power that sucker right up.
Rock on!
Up this game is like wrapping up a present on Christmas morning. It gets better when you open it again. This game has stood the test of time as far as games are concerned. It was on both the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, and even though the Sega had an extra song or something, I feel like the Super Nintendo one was a lot better. Personally, this game ranks right up there with all the other racing games on Super Nintendo that you hear about. Except for the problem is that this was almost a hidden gem. Not too many of my friends I know remember playing this game at all, but I think you should totally check it out. And let's take it back to Babomb to wrap this up, shall we?
Rock and Roll Racing by Interplay. Music by Black Sabbath. Bunch of space aliens blasting each other on tracks with missiles and grenades. Are you kidding me? Do you need anything better than this? Don't freak. Stay elite. This is Babomb signing off. Blam!
Dr. the Moose is filmed by a live studio audience.
Hey kids!
Hi, Dr. the Moose!
Some of you may have questions on what to play after.
Rock and Roll Racing.
Well,
F-Zero.
and
RPM Racing.
would be really great picks.